Hi, this is Cynthia from High Carb Happy, and I actually am going to tell you today how I screwed up and yeah, just be vulnerable for a little bit, because who likes listening to someone who's just all got it all figured out, all perfect all the time? That can get kind of annoying. So here's what happened. I got sick and my tonsils right here were swollen, and it was really, really hurting to swallow anything. Even water. I think I got super, super dehydrated being sick. And so drinking smoothies was just so painful, and I was trying to eat watermelon, and it was every time I took a bite, it was painful. So I decided, well, I can't eat that. What I'm going to try to do is make some hot soup, but I'm going to try to avoid the cooked carbs, because those were, hindering my results. They had been when I was eating a lot of cooked carbs. So I had the kind of non-starchy vegetable soup, and well, what do you expect? But if you're going to just eat a lot of eggplant and celery and carrots, I'm going to get hungry. So I was waking up at night, hungry. And then finally, I think the second day or maybe the third day, I said, screw it, I'm just going to eat some pasta and some potatoes. Because when things were hot, it felt okay to swallow. It was things that were kind of room temperature or cold that were really uncomfortable. and it's really funny how just 1 or 2 days of kind of inadvertent calorie restriction really, really messed me up. So the way that I think of it is, my body is the trusting wife that always does everything for the husband, and then my mind is the husband, and the husband's been going off and cheating on the wife and screwing around with his secretary and stuff, and she found out about it after 20 years, which is about how long I've been screwing up my body. Well, okay, then they get back together and they talk it out and everything's going to be okay, and they were building the trust and all of that. But then the wife finds out, oh, the husband was out late with the secretary again. Well, me, it was totally innocent, but she's going to have a huge reaction to that, right? And so in the same way, my body had a huge reaction to those couple of days of low calorie. I wasn't feeling so sick that I didn't want to eat. It was just the swallowing that was bothering me. So that was a big mistake. I noticed that I was when I started eating again, I was ravenous. I was just ravenous and crazy about having more and more cooked carbs. And it wasn't really binging. It wasn't like I was eating to the point beyond full. It's just I was super, super, super hungry. And so I've been having a little bit of a hard time getting kind of back on the eating plan that I was following before, that was working really well for me, which was kind of, banana smoothie for breakfast, big smoothie or a bunch of fruit for lunch, and then salad for dinner. I've been having a really hard time with that. And I've been really not wanting to eat greens, which is kind of interesting to me. And I think it's because my body is just sending me towards calorie density to make up for, or more than make up for, whatever I underate during those couple days. So I guess what I learned from this is that, next time, if for whatever reason I cannot eat bananas, I'm just going to go ahead and eat potatoes instead and not worry about it. And that's so much better than freaking my body out internally by calorie restriction inadvertently. And I do have to say one thing, just to be totally honest. It's that when I felt like, oh, I can't eat what I usually eat, there's a part of me in my brain that says, oh, you can eat a little less. That's awesome. Maybe you'll lose a little more weight than you were with just, eating a bunch of carbs. So, I do call myself fully recovered, because I am absolutely not binging anymore. I'm not sneaking around getting food here or there. But sometimes those thoughts that I used to have all the time, they sneak back in. Kind of when I get knocked off my routine and I'm not sort of doing my usual thing, they can come back. And actually, this kind of happened to me also when I was traveling. I traveled to Germany in February. And even though I kind of asked my parents to get me a box of bananas and this and that, they don't have a blender, and it's hard for me to eat just a whole bunch of bananas, just plain, and other fruit was really not that great. The grapes were really expensive and so on. So I didn't have as much fruity calories as I would have at home. And so in the first couple of days, again, I was kind of under eating just because I was trying to figure out where I could get what and stuff like that. And a part of me was like, oh, this is great. You're gonna come back from vacation and be skinnier because you couldn't eat as much. Well, no, of course it does not. It does not work that way anymore. If I undereat, it's gonna be, maybe 2 or 3 days I could handle it, and then my body's gonna make me eat more and make me more hungry. And I mean, at least the good thing is that now I am recovered to the point where if I'm more hungry, I can just eat more to the point that my hunger is directing me, but I don't go crazy and eat way more than I need to get full, which is, a big difference from how it would have been before for me. So, I'm trying to get myself back on track. It's not perfect all the time. I did weigh myself just out of curiosity, and I think I'm just up like 2 pounds or something. So nothing big. But I definitely want to get back to pounding down the bananas. I've got a box of them outside, and hopefully next time I do a video, I'll be back to smooth sailing again. So if you find, what do you do when you get too hungry? What happens to you when you don't eat enough? Tell me all about it in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.